What's up guys, DevilDog here from Explorminate.com, here to give you world exclusive beta gameplay footage of StarDrive 2. And again, that's beta. I want to emphasize beta because A, he just made it to beta, which is great, and B, because this is a work in progress and everything's subject to change. But having reached beta, he's basically feature complete, so the idea from here on out is to add content. What I want to do is in the first episode show you the first 15 minutes of gameplay, and then in subsequent episodes we can show you stuff like ship combat, ground combat, and diplomacy, and the stuff that comes a little bit later, and shipbuilding too. So we'll start right off. Going into campaign. Here's all your favorite familiar races. Everyone's here, except for now we have the new Chuck, who are basically a slaver race. Cool thing about it is that in each of these you can click on the icons and they have a new character portrait, which is pretty rad. I'm going to start with my boys, the Volfar, of course being a devil dog. But the cool thing is you can customize every single one of these. You can pick and choose different things just like you can with like the old school Masters of Orion and any game worth its salt. So come back out, right click back out. All these menus are clickable and right clickable to get out, which is awesome. So yeah, let's click the Volfar, continue on. So here we can choose not only our leader name, but our empire color, our opponent count, difficulty, name of the empire, the name of the race, and we can make system counts all the way up to 90 for now. Not sure if Zero has plans to make them larger, but that's definitely a pretty large race, or sorry, a large map. We'll start with the large map just to show you what it's like. You can randomize personalities, and you can also enable tutorials, and the tutorials aren't complete yet, so I won't enable them, but they are pretty awesome. So can't wait to see how those end up turning out, but they're all animated and they show a really good overview of the way the game plays out. Very good so far. So let's go ahead and hit begin. Now I want to emphasize again, this is beta, so beta. But we're definitely in a spot where we can show you a lot of the gameplay mechanics. So we start off here. We can zoom out here and I can show you the surrounding map. Like I said, it's pretty large, and I have a feeling that Zero has intentions to make it a little bit larger. He definitely isn't completely done with stuff like that, so don't fret. We're zooming in. We're showing basically our starting ships, which is the colony ship and exploration frigate. So recently he has changed the exploration mechanics. It used to be like a hard range, basically where you see these dotted lines, but now range is based on fuel. So if you can see down here, I can zoom in on that for a second. Basically fuel is used only outside your borders, and you can build basically refueling stations at any of the gas giants, so you can start setting up spots where you can refuel and then move on and scout the varying areas around it. But this exploration frigate here, which I'll click on, actually I'll click on here, it has a very good range, or it has a lot of fuel, I should say, and it's able to basically help you explore the surrounding spots very quickly. So we'll send it off to there. And because we're in our own space here, I'm going to send the colony ship out here to explore. We can come in, zoom into Volfar. Double clicking it brings it up really pretty. This is a colony management screen, and it is pretty darn awesome. You're basically looking at your citizens here. A little bit of a sense of humor here with the farmers having hoes and the engineers here having little, welding equipment. Sorry, I was trying to think of what it was. So this is basically where you're going to build everything, and you're also going to see when you eventually get heroes and stuff, they're outlined here. And this is your ground forces, where you can also come and upgrade. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we'll start off by building something. We're going to build freighter fleets because it's likely that our first colony is going to need some extra foods and stuff, just like in StarDrive 1. So we'll build a freighter fleet, and we'll also build a construction ship. And I'll also bust out one of the scouts here. So we'll go into all this stuff later. I don't want to get too much into this because these are a little bit more complicated, like especially with edit designs and stuff like that. And as you guys know, the StarDrive 1 ship builder was pretty extensive and pretty awesome. So leave it at that. We're going to build the freighter, build the construction ship, and a scout. We're going to right-click out of this, and zoom out to make sure we haven't missed anything. Oh, that's right, we need to choose some research. So the research tree is very much like the Master of Orion's trees. Basically, you're going to choose one of these in any given category, and it excludes the others without the creative trait. So in any of these, they'll tell you, you mouse over them, they'll tell you up in the upper right hand corner what it is, what it does for you, what kind of bonus it provides, and you basically choose which of these you're going to choose. Which makes sense, right? You're going to choose which of these basically you're going to take and subsequently exclude the others. So in this case, if I take soil enrichment, I would exclude aeroponic farm unless I trade for it later or find it or any other way. The other thing that's added is this experimental tree, which basically costs a crap ton of research points. As you can see, it's 500 in comparison to the 80 for some of these other ones. But these include experimental weapons, race-specific stuff, really awesome tech tree. I'm not gonna spoil any of that for you. So here we are. I usually choose between these two because you're going to be finding planets that are barren and difficult to pull food out of, basically. So this is a +1 food per farmer on worlds where base food is greater than 0. So it's only good for people who can actually farm, whereas the aeroponic farm is actually good for any colony being able to increase their food production by 3. So I'm going to choose aeroponic farm. It's most likely we're going to find a barren planet that we're going to like and take that. And that's a first turn, so let's go ahead and hit spacebar, or I can hit the turn button down here and it'll move everybody. And we're basically just going to do that. The cool thing is, now I forgot to tell you, we also have planet basically attributes that alter the planet in some way. So this one's haunted. It's plagued by the lingering disembodied consciousness of a race that once lived here. Negative 20% approval. So that's obviously a negative attribute. There are a lot of positive ones, and there's also now strategic resources. So let's move these guys, see if we can scout this stuff out. And there we go. So we now have ancient androids, which is a positive one. There's going to be 2 android citizens on this planet. So basically you have 2 robots that are willing to work for you. It's a medium barren. You can mouse over it to see how much food per farmer and how much production per worker, and you can see any sort of penalties that you might have through gravity or maintenance. This one is a decent planet. The food per farmer is going to be somewhat difficult to overcome at the beginning. It becomes much easier, especially with that aeroponic farm that we researched. And on top of that, we have freighters that can help deliver food. So that might be a really good starting colony, especially with the 2 androids willing to help us out. Let's see what this. Oh, look at this. So we've got some good stuff over here. Zoom in over here, and we've got an underground ocean, which is +1 food per farmer. And as you can tell, it's in the upper right-hand corner in case you're not seeing that. And delicacies, which is an it gains 5% approval in your empire per delicacy controlled. He wants to add that as a flat bonus instead of percentage bonus, so that'll change. The percentage bonus has become harder to calculate, so that'll change a little bit. But the other thing below that, the exploitation bonus, is that when you have 4 or more of that particular strategic resource, you gain 10% approval from other races due to their enjoyment of your spread. So, as they see right there. So, if you the intention is to find as many delicacies or many of the same as you can find, because you start to get awesome and higher bonuses as a result. We can mouse over it to see that food per farmer is 2, production per worker is 4, and research is 1. And you also get the additional food per farmer from the underground ocean. So I don't know if that's already calculated into this output or if that occurs after you've colonized it, but we can go back over here and see that you can also start to colonize asteroid belts. This is an ancient shipyard, so it's going to have it says, I haven't seen all these, so some of these are going to be new to me. Orbiting this ancient yet serviceable shipyard, abandoned long ago for reasons unknown. It appears perfectly serviceable. So, yeah, so it starts with a shipyard, which is pretty cool. We'll zoom out, and we'll take this guy over here. Actually, let's see if there's anything over. We'll explore what's in our solar system first. Gonna bring this guy up here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and colonize this. It's a good spot. Why not? You can WASD around. You can use the middle mouse to rotate around like this. Zooming in is just like you would normally with the mouse cursor. I prefer WASD because it makes it easier. I'm not as comfortable using the middle mouse, so occasionally I try to. Yeah, it doesn't work. So let's hit turn, and again I can hit turn or I can hit spacebar. So it's a pretty rad little thing. In fact, I can keep hitting spacebar and holding it down, and it actually kind of plays like a real-time game. So we're going to confirm this, and like I was saying, it's because it's barren, I can't farm, and it'll tell me that. So it's actually a -3 food production because I have 3 citizens here, and this will be an issue very quickly because I'm basically shrinking, and for every time it goes below, or it drops down in a full number, I lose one of these citizens. So we need to fix that quickly. What we're going to do is basically come out here. We're going to see if we can rush this, which we can, which is perfect. And what that'll do for us is, you'll see here in a second, the freighter's built, as it says down here, and this will now become... Oh, I guess I have to wait one more turn. Again, there are going to be some weird little glitches too, because obviously we're still in beta. We're not, we're not at a point where this is complete. And by we, I mean 0. I'm sorry, I'm part of the testing group, but this is by no means my game. So, food shortage is basically telling me that what I showed you, that if I don't address that, there's going to be some population missing very soon. Alright, so food short still. Let's come back in here, and let's see if it's starting to... Yeah, so as you can see... Oh, I lost somebody. Oh, that's great. So, unfortunately, we need to do something about that quick. Get the freighter fleet out. Let's see how long... Okay, it's going to be 100. We need to do something about this as quickly as possible. I probably shouldn't. I forgot how the androids actually consume food, and if I'd thought about that, I wouldn't have gone there, because I can't support a 3 population barren planet. Okay. So the strange thing is, I'm sure that we'll figure this out, but there is a bit of a delay sometimes with freighters. Not 100% sure why. Obviously, I built the freighter. It's going to tell me that I have a freighter up here. I have 2 total freighters, so it should be hauling the food as a result from Volfar to Arami, and most of the time it works. I'm not sure why it's not now, but it's something that can be fixed, no doubt. And so there, now we've got it. Food imports. See how it's +1 food import, and the total net food production is -1, unfortunately, still. So we're still at a negative number, which is not good, but we'll get that fixed soon here with another freighter that Arami is about to build. Come back in, see what they found here. So they found another barren planet with massive caves, which increases the maximum population by 2. So, and then another just regular old asteroid belt. Gonna bring him out here, see how he can actually move outside the borders now. That didn't used to happen. But I really like this mechanic better. It allows for a much freer and more open galaxy, which I appreciate. Hitting space, and we'll come down here and we'll rush this thing. So we have, oh no, just 1 short. One BC short of being able to complete that and fixing the starvation issue. So we'll come back out and confirm it this time. And that food import should be 2 with the completion of that. Alright, it must take a couple turns, as I guess the freighters need to, like, kickstart or something. So we'll leave that alone for now. Hopefully we can get that addressed before we have another citizen die, but at the very least we'll keep one of those androids. It wasn't ideal. My bad. I remember the last time when I was making StarDrive 1 videos, I was doing a lot of dumb stuff because I was just trying to show you guys that, oh, look at that. And I used to get panned so hard on the comments, like, you're an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I know. So this is actually a super awesome planet. So we've got a tiny Terran, rich normal G, 4 max population. Food per farmer is 2. Production per worker is 6, which is awesome. And research per scientist, which is 1 normal. The artifacts gives you an additional +1 research per scientist. So that's going to make that output even better, which I'm good with. Actually, we don't need to do that. We're going to bring him out to... well, this is actually an event that I'm not sure I want to show you just yet, but we'll keep going. Oh, yeah, we're going to move out of this because I don't want this event to spawn just yet, and I also don't want to lose my thing, my exploration frigate. So come out here and make sure, or at least see what's going on with this. It's not there yet. See if we can avoid that ship. Alright, good. So we'll leave that alone for now. That is an event, and it's something that I'd like to show you, but just not yet. So still no bueno. I have a feeling that's going to be a loss on my part. I'm probably going to end up just with that 1 android. So this is also an event. I'm going to pull my exploration frigate around it just so that I don't have to show you just yet. It's something that I do want to show you. I just want to get you guys an understanding of the initial base mechanics first. We'll actually bring him over here. And it looks like... Alright, so this is my my construction ship that I built at Volfar. My scout's about to build. We can also probably build another freighter. And what I'm going to do with this one is, if there is a gas giant here. But I'm hoping that there's a gas giant here so I can build a refueling station here and basically have that act as like a hub so that I can explore the surrounding areas here. So we'll actually push him out that way. This guy, alright, so we've got that building good. So we've got another little scout that we can start sending off. We can bring him up here, see what that's like. And looks like Aramis finally... Yep. So there is a bit of a delay with the freighters, which makes sense, obviously. There's going to be a bit of a delay from the time you decide you're going to build a freighter to the time they are doing their thing with the food transport. So there is that delay. We're going to we're going to go ahead and build a fleet academy here while we wait. We're waiting on the aeroponic farm so that we can produce that here and create an excess of food so that we can actually bring some more citizens. There's only going to be room for 1 more citizen here anyways, but it would be nice to have maybe the extra research. I'm not sure if these guys can do that. Oh, they can. Alright, so maybe I could do that. I'll leave them like this. Actually, no, I'll leave them just like this so that they can produce this faster and produce the aeroponics farm faster. And then we'll start making them more of like a research-centered planet. Need to get the research tree researched out. But that also brings up a point. You can take any of these, move them over, basically assign them roles. Very easy, very intuitive. Don't know why you're heading back. Let's move you back over here. There you go. I must have accidentally clicked. And so we'll keep going. And here I have officially got aeroponic farms. +3 food per turn, per colony, or for each colony, so that's awesome. Come over to Airme and queue it up. In fact, I don't know what I was doing. I'm going to actually bring it up above the Fleet Academy. A little wonky, you have to bring it down, but you can't bring it up, so something I just need to remember. And also something easily fixed. So we got the aeroponic farms all queued up, and it's going to cost 160 BC to rush it, so obviously I can't. And Okay, there we go. So we've got our next choice to make. This is awesome. This is a very similar situation to the one we had before. I like to move to the industry next, and I'm either looking at a flat production or production bonus per worker. Obviously, I had to have workers to make that worth it. I'm sorry, here. So we have a 3 production per worker bonus, and then a flat production bonus, and then plus 1 production per worker. So, you know, I'm gonna go with automated rover bay this time, just because I like the flat bonus. But sometimes, you know, this is more appropriate, especially when you've got a couple good industry planets. But I don't have that yet, so I'm gonna go ahead with automated rover bay. Bring it on out, and here we go. So we have a hero. He's presented himself. He wants a payment of 60 BC now, which I am capable of producing, and he wants 1 BC per turn thereafter. He's a really good labor leader. By really good, I mean he is a labor leader, and he also has a shipwright, which I think, yeah, it gains a bonus to hit points up in the upper right. So we're gonna hire him. He's gonna say something pretty cool. So yeah, these guys have been hired now, and it's very good illustrations. The artwork's just amazing. So they're going to be, so he's been hired and he's stationed at Volfar. What ends up happening is you come in here and go to there, and you'll see him here as part of your ground forces. I can assign him as leader here instead, which makes more sense because he is a labor leader, and as a result you'll see an increase in my ability to produce stuff. See how it's plus 10%? And that's a result of my good sir here. I don't know if this one is, but a lot of the heroes are also ground combat models, so you can see them represented in ground combat, and some of them are pretty good at ground combat and are specialized in ground combat, and they all look really damn good. And we'll show you that soon, I promise. So now we've got him out, we're gonna bring. Wait, did we already see our exploration frigate get out there? Oh, you know what? I got sidetracked and I got a little confused there, so I didn't actually bring him out like I was supposed to. Ancient habitats. That's a +1 to max pop, and this is actually an ultra-rich planet. Or sorry, it's ultra-rich asteroid belt, so it's +9 production per worker. So if something like that, if you had one of those colonized already and you'd gone back to that choice we made at the research, maybe that +3 bonus per worker would have been a better bet. So this also shows a wormhole. So we're close to a wormhole. I'll show you what it's like to go through a wormhole. Gonna let's see. What else can I show you before I wrap this one up? We've got that. I also show you what the menus are like. So we've got this, which is the research menu. This is basically what comes up every time. In fact, it is exactly the same menu that comes up when you choose your research to the end of the turn there. This is your empire management screen. At the bottom you'll see the new strategic resources that have been added. I've only found a couple of them through my maybe 2.5 hours of playing since the new build, and they're all pretty cool. It's really an awesome addition to the game. It's fun to look for them. It's definitely you know, an exploration phase plus. So we're going to show you, so all of them here, I think there's 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 12 of them. And here you can actually rush buildings, stuff like that. You can assign population through stuff just by looking at this. So you can change everything pretty much that you would through the colony management screen that I've showed you, just doing it through here. You can also change tax rate, and if you guys remember through StarDrive 1, when you change the tax rate, it affects production. So as you can see, I'll increase it and you'll see my production numbers, which are represented by the hammer, they start to decrease. But my BCs up here in the upper right, they start to increase. So unless you're really hurting for money, it's really not particularly useful at first to increase your tax rate. Come over to the leaders tab, and this is where I see the guy that I just hired. I think is Master Blaster, Master Engineer Blaster. But he, as you accumulate, you'll start to see more and more. There's, I think, at least a dozen heroes, at least, and maybe much more. But I've seen them all, and they're all extremely well illustrated, and they all have like that little quip thing that they said when they got hired. They all have a little, little something they say. It's all individually unique. It's really awesome. And you come in here in your planets screen. This is a new screen that just got added too. This shows you all the available planets that are there, and you can basically filter them through the different needs and wants and all that stuff. So if I wanted a non-hostile climate, I can filter that, and I get the 2 here. If I don't care about the hostility, but I do care about the gravity penalty, or if I care about all of them, I can click all of them. So it's a really rad thing. I really like the way that this has been implemented. It makes it very easy. It's very easy to see, and it's definitely good for like an expansion plan. So if I wanted to figure out what the best plan for, maybe I needed to increase my ability to produce stuff, I could just filter it through the minerals, and now I can see that the highest one here is the Vecna belt, and I can send someone there for 9 production per worker, which is that one that we saw earlier. So pretty awesome screen, looking really good, getting great. This is the diplomacy screen. We haven't met anybody yet. Let's see if we can push out a little bit and meet somebody before I call this a day. And here's our fleet management screen. Each one of these fleets that I've produced, I can assign a leader to. Some of the leaders, or some of the heroes, are much more oriented towards leading here fleets, and yeah, so that's the thing. You got this shipyard here we can go into next time, and this is your help menu. I'm gonna click it. It's not a completely filled yet. It's not completed. That's probably a better word for it. It's not completed yet, but I will click it so you can see just the awesome polish that this game has really already started to implement. It's a funny little thing that goes on between the Corgazine and the Owlwalks. So I'll let you read that. I don't know why I'm being quiet, but I will be quiet. I'll just stay quiet. So that I'm assuming that'll eventually get completely fleshed out. It's a really cool little addition, and that's this just an example of how awesome the artwork and stuff like that is. Oh no! Okay, so I've been intercepted by these space monsters, which unfortunately are going to crush me if I can't retreat fast enough. I didn't even see them. It's basically like a big space lobster. I wasn't going to show you space combat yet. In fact, I'm not going to, because I'm going to retreat as quickly as possible. I'm going to drag this guy over to the corner, deploy him there, and then hit the retreat button to get him the hell out. In fact, I'm going to just show you what these guys are like first. Here you go. So you have space monsters. Space lobsters. Scroll out. We're going to hit begin, immediately pause it, just to make sure that it's retreating. Okay, we're retreating. And hopefully I can get out of there before I get beat up. Doesn't look like it though. Not good. Looks like they've got little lobster fighters too. They're gonna come in and destroy my ability to explore my surroundings. Okay. So there goes that. My poor little exploration frigate is gone. Oh well. Alright, so I don't know that I'm going to do diplomacy just yet, because I'm not sure how fast I'm going to be able to expand in order to show you said diplomacy. You know, it's funny, as I zoomed in here and I didn't see that guy. Little bastard. Alright. Well, I think that's actually probably a good spot to stop. The next one, I hope to show you some diplomacy, and the diplomacy options are seriously better than they were even in StarDrive 1, and I really like diplomacy in StarDrive 1. They're honestly the best diplomacy options I've seen in a 4X game in a long, hell, maybe even ever. He's really paid attention to diplomacy. It is a serious step up from just about anything else that's out there right now. And we'll get into actual ship combat, where I have some combat ships that can fire back. I'll show you ground combat. These are all just future episodes. This one's been a little longer than I expected, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it now. But stay tuned. I'm really excited to show you this. I've been working with Zero and helping him test it, and he has done some incredibly genius things that I'm really excited to show you about. I know that sounds like I'm a little biased, and maybe I'll have to pass the review on for this game to someone else because I am biased. But there's a lot of good stuff that I want to show you, and hopefully you guys are liking what you see so far. Again, it's a work in progress. It's beta, but beta is in a very good shape. And yeah, so stay tuned. Devil Dog from ExploreMinate.com. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.